Hello, everybody. I'm Manu, and I'm going to show you how to do some little first exploration using Graphext. Um, the video is going to be quite short, so let's get into it right away. The dataset I'm going to use has 9,000 rows and 52 columns. Each row contains information regarding a packaged product from the United States, a packaged food product, and each column contains some characteristic or nutritional values regarding this product. So we have characteristics such as water, kilocalories, proteins, and many more, such as vitamins, iron, magnesium, etc. So I'm going to show you real quick how to create a new project. So we could just go to the new project tab, models, and right away I'm going to click on cluster because I want to cluster all this data to see how the different types of foods are grouped depending on their similarities. So right away I'll just click on cluster. We don't need a target, and this variable right here is NDB number, which is the database number. We won't need that, but all the rest of the variables are necessary. So we'll just go ahead and cluster that and create the cluster. We can name it however we want and execute. For the sake of the tutorial or the video, we already have created the project. So instead of waiting, I'm going to go right ahead and click on the created project, which is going to be exactly the same. And here, while we wait, I'm going to show you. Okay, it's already loaded. Okay, great. So right away we can see that we have our data set, and we have here our many distributions of the variables that we are using. An important variable that we have is this one, short description, which tells us the names of all the foods and all the packaged fruits that we are going to be dealing with. And right away, I can see that, for example, water seems to be an interesting variable. It has quite an interesting shape of its distribution. We can see that there's many products that have quite little water quantity, and there's also some products that have quite a lot of water. So I'm going to use the cross filter section just to check and explore a little bit. So the products that have little water, I see here, are, well, of course, many egg, dry milk. We can see also some baby food and formula, which is all powder. Also, I see some oil and some fat, which is interesting because, of course, that doesn't contain any water. I'm going to do all of us a favor and pin the column on the left so we can have it while we explore the rest of the variables. Okay, I'm going to also check for the food products that have more water. And here we can see right away, let's see, we have a lot of soup. We have a lot of soup. Yeah, and we start having some fruits, and we start having some vegetables too. Pears, orange, melons, lime, asparagus. Okay. We can also use and sort all of this column by water quantity. So instead of using this filter, I can filter this or sort the column by its values. So we can see here that the ones that have 0 water are those oils and fats, and the ones that have more water are, of course, water and different types of beverages, tea, probably some energy drinks. I can see some Coca-Cola here. Okay, great. So let's sort this again by this number. And we can see here, I noticed that when moving the water filter, the kilocalories right here, the kilocalories variable seems to be or grow oppositely to the water values. So we can see that the more water, the less kilocalories, and vice versa. I'm going to open this in correlations just to check. Yep, we can see here that water has a negative correlation with kilocalories. The more water, the less kilocalories. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's check now on the kilocalories variable. For example, we see here that there's not many products that have a lot of calories, but there's many products around 0 and 200 calories in that range. So let's check which food products have low calories. So here we can see that the ones that have low calories are, we can see lots of baby food products, some gravy and soup. Of course, it's going to be the same products that with high water quantity. And just for the sake of curiosity, let's check which products have lots and lots of calories. Exactly the same. Oil and fat. Okay. Well, we can see here that by using the cross-filter section, we've seen and we've filtered some products. It's interesting that we can use Graphext also to filter several columns and maybe find some interesting products if we wanted to, for example, plan a diet, for example. So let's see. Let's check which food products have high amount of proteins, for example, and they also provide a great amount of calories. So, for example, for an athlete, okay, this type of diet is for an athlete, and we can see here right away that what we would recommend the athlete would be, of course, cheese, milk. All of these contain a good quantity of proteins, almonds, and all of dried fruits, nuts, and of course beef and all types of meat. We can also check, for example, for a less fat and diet, less fat and a small number of kilocalories. So again, yogurt, milk, maybe probably as we scroll down on this list, there's lots of formula, but no problem. Of course, they have soup, little calories, and probably let's increase the amount of kilocalories that we are dealing with. We can see here some bread, and we can see here some veal. It contains low fat, so that's interesting. And of course, some chestnuts. Okay, once we've checked and played a little bit around with the filters and the cross-filter section, maybe it's interesting to check and compare different types of food. So for example, we can go to the compare section, and here right away using the short description, so we have the names of our products. I'm going to compare three kinds of meat. So beef is already here. I'm going to see if I can compare pork. Okay, and I'm going to compare also some cod here. So three different kinds of meat, from the cow, from the pork, and from the cod, from the sea. Okay, so I'm just going to color them a little bit on how they look like. And right away we can see that, of course, fish, cod, for example, is the type of meat that contains the most water and the least kilocalories. It's not as heavy, much more lighter kind of meat. On the other hand, we have, for example, beef and pork that contain less water and contain more calories, but also contain more fat. So they are a bit more heavy. They also contain much more protein than the fish because they are a lighter, they are heavier meats. And just to finish real quick and give you an overview on how these products were ordered. This is the final cluster that we created at the beginning of the video. So after the exploration of individual filters and whatnot. Let's see how the different clusters and different foods and packaged foods were organized, so we can have a clearer, let's say a clearer vision on the type of products and the type of organization. So I like to use the filtering colors, the color mapping, in order to right away see the colors. And yeah, we can see that on brighter yellow, there are products containing more water. So in this part of the graph, we have products containing lots of water. We can see here, well, all the baby food, but also cauliflower, mushrooms. I see some asparagus, peppers. So of course, here's going to be the part and the zone of the high water and vegetables products. Let's see with the calories. I would guess that kilocalories are on the opposite, because as we saw, the less water, the more kilocalories. And here are going to be oils and fats, some meat, yeah, really fatty and oily products which contain little to no water. We also have probably around here the protein section. So here probably there's eggs, there's whey protein, and we can see here some salmon. All of these products contain lots of protein. And around here will be the also lipids, fats, which is also interesting because it's opposite to the real watery and vegetable products. And I see here cluster 20 is quite alone. Let's zoom on in and see what's around here. And it's interesting to see that here it's all wines, different types of wines. We see here Pinot, Sauvignon. Yeah, the wines seem to hold a different type of nutritional values that isolates them away from all the rest of packaged fruit products from the US. And well, we can see that we just explore real quick this data set, compare and play a little bit with its values and its rows and columns. So finally, we ended up with a quite good cluster that real visually tells us how the packaged products, foods from the US are distributed. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.